So a bridge just collapsed with a cargo truck hanging off the edge. Driver trapped, fog rolling in, no cell signal, rescuers racing against time. They pull him out alive. The clip goes viral. But that's just one event. In roughly the last 18 months, at least 5 major bridges in China have failed. One collapsed 7 months after opening. Another led to 12 workers losing their lives during construction. Others failed during extreme weather. And the official answers so far? Limited, carefully worded statements. Today, we're connecting dots that most people outside China have never even heard of. Let's establish some context, because this is about a pattern that doesn't make sense. China has more bridges than any country on Earth. Over 1 million road bridges. The engineering capability is real. Many of these bridges are world-class. The US has tens of thousands of bridges rated as structurally deficient. Europe deals with aging infrastructure. But here's what's unusual: the age of the bridges that are failing. In the US, most failures involve bridges that are decades old with long-term wear and corrosion. In China, we're seeing bridges collapse within their first decade, some within their first year. This bamboo stalk takes 3 to 5 years to mature. Some of these bridges didn't last that long. The paradox. September 2025, the Huajiang Canyon Bridge opens in Guizhou Province, about 625 meters above the river below. That's roughly a 200-story building. Main span around 1,420 meters. Built with satellite positioning, drones guiding construction, and fiber optic sensors monitoring stress in real time. Load test, fleets of trucks, thousands of tons on the deck at once. It passed. October 2025. Wuhan opens central China's first large lift bridge. A movable span, thousands of tons, rising roughly 27 meters in minutes to let ships pass. November 6th, 2025. The Tongling Yangtze River Third Bridge opens, a double-deck hybrid design carrying both expressway and railway. So the same country building some of the most advanced bridges on Earth is also seeing brand new bridges collapse within months. It's not that China can't build quality infrastructure. The question is, why is the quality so inconsistent? Let's go through the failures. Incident 1. February 22, 2024, Guangzhou in southern China. A cargo barge loses control, slams into a pier, and a section of the bridge drops, sending vehicles into the water. 5 people lose their lives, 3 more are injured. Officially, it's a maritime accident, but for the people who relied on that bridge, what matters is that one impact wiped out a critical lifeline. Incident 2, July 19, 2024. Torrential rain hammers the Qinling Mountains. Rivers rise fast. By 8:40 p.m., a section of a highway bridge gives way. Vehicles plunge into the flood below. Multiple fatalities, many missing, and around 20 vehicles swept away. Official investigation: natural disaster. This wasn't a century-old bridge. It was a modern expressway link. So the question isn't whether the rain was extreme. It was. The question is, should a modern bridge fail this catastrophically in conditions we know are becoming more common? Incident 3, August 22, 2025, Qinghai Province. The Jianza Yellow River Bridge, an under-construction railway steel truss arch. 16 workers are out on a large arch segment during routine cable tensioning when a critical cable fails. The arch section collapses into the Yellow River. 12 workers lose their lives. 4 more are reported missing. This isn't a finished bridge failing under traffic. This is a construction site with engineers on duty and a catastrophic failure during a standard procedure. The investigation is still underway, but when a cable designed to hold a railway bridge snaps mid-operation, that demands answers. Incident 4, June 24, 2025. At 5:51 a.m., monitoring staff see unusual readings and shut it down. At 7:40 a.m., a landslide hits the support piers. Several spans drop into the gorge. A cargo truck ends up hanging off the edge. Rescuers pull the driver out alive. The sensors worked, the closure saved lives, but the structure still failed. If even well-instrumented bridges in known landslide zones are collapsing, what does that say about how these routes are planned and reinforced? And Incident 5, November 11th, 2025. It opened to traffic earlier this year. On November 10th, inspectors notice cracks in ground movement. Authorities close it. The next day, a landslide hits the mountainside. A long section of the approach and part of the structure collapse into the river. I'm not an engineer, but when a major highway bridge collapses months after opening, the big questions are simple. Was the site too risky, or did design and construction fail to account for that risk? Let's talk about the pattern. There's a phrase in China, Tofu-Dreg Construction. That means infrastructure that looks solid but crumbles under pressure. And yeah, no one wants to drive on bridges made of tofu. The The Huajiang Canyon Bridge, Tongling, Wuhan, these are world-class projects with top engineers, strong materials, and multiple inspection phases. But more routine infrastructure, provincial highways, county bridges, local connectors, faces the same political pressure with fewer resources. Big targets from the top, tight timelines at the bottom. Bamboo takes 3 to 5 years to reach full maturity. You can't rush it. Nature has a timeline, so does physics. On flagship projects, time and money are there. On smaller ones, timelines get squeezed, budgets get stretched, and that's where corners can be cut. The messaging machine. So why keep building at this pace in such difficult terrain despite the risks? China uses its infrastructure to tell stories, and the one-party state sets the narratives. The big mega infrastructure projects look spectacular, the engineering is real, and the message is simple. China builds what others say is impossible. But the same system that produces these megastructures also produced the Huajiang Bridge and other recent failures. In other words, successes are highlighted and failures are silenced and hidden. But here's where things get really interesting. While modern China races to build record-breaking bridges, nature already built its own, and they've been standing for millions of years. In Zhangjiajie, sandstone pillars and natural arches tower hundreds of meters above the valley floor. Shanren Bridge in Guangxi spans nearly 400 feet. These natural bridges weren't rushed. Nature doesn't have 5-year plans. And they're still standing. In just a few recent months, we've seen genuinely world-class bridges open. And in roughly the last 2 years, we've also seen major failures. Same country, same time period. That's not a simple good or bad story. That's a paradox. China has proven it can build world-class infrastructure. The question is why the safety record is so uneven. Can a system that builds some of the world's best infrastructure learn from its failures as openly as it celebrates its victories? But hey, I'm just a panda with a camera and an obsession with patterns that don't quite add up. If you learned something from this video, give this panda a like and subscribe, and then click this next video for more investigations like this. This is Panda Reports, and this is just the beginning. Panda out.